Okay. Well, hello, Mr. Hayport.
Good evening.
How are you?
As I said, I'm kind of struck with the munchies now
All
that I
right.
now that I'm regenerating a little bit more.
Wow.
Um,
So, do you know why we brought you
yes.
here today?
Well, I can only assume you want my 2 cents on what's recently happened.
I brought the rope just in
Correct.
case.
All right. So, what are your plans on the future? What are your
My
future
plans for the
plans?
future. Well, now that I've won, first things first is I'm going to do exactly what I promised. Establish a nation state separate from everyone else's plots, where people can co-op or rather collaborate, and that we can secure and defend effectively without extra, well, not without extradition, but without overstepping our bounds and stepping on people's toes. So in that matter, I have requested an audience with all the leaders of the disparate factions of the frontiers to figure out where we should be moving next, specifically the location of this co-op. Obviously name pending for the IMC co-op, but it's basically just the project name for right now.
So I'm glad you mentioned rotations because there ain't a lot of people in this world right now. So it would stand to reason that some people would, you know, be eligible to run again that they've already served before.
Yes. The system that I'm planning on putting in place is that each leader can only run one term before having to act as the wise. A term that I've coined for the uh, for the advisor to the leader. Every time that that somebody's a president's term times out, they can't run again, right? And well, they can't run again until their term as the wise is over, and they've sat out another term. So the cycle would go: you go as a president, then you're the wise, and then you're on probation, and then you can run again.
Okay, so there's a cycle. No one. It's not like we'll run out of candidates and well, I guess we aren't
It's
gonna have
we're not
another.
gonna. It's not that we're gonna run out of candidates. No. Um,
That's cheap. You're the new candidate. I got you. Thank you for sharing.
so what's gonna happen to me as you guys voted me president is I'm immediately gonna be stepping down once the co-op is up, and I'm going to be the wise for the first term. So you could. I just realized this. I have set it up so that I will be Atris the Wise. Um,
Yeah.
but I didn't mean for that, but that's actually a fun little thing. Um, and things will progress normally. The uh, first college will be formed by the people based on what they think they need. And then they bring that to the president and the wise, and the three parties debate on the issue, and bring about the change that was discussed. As for anything else, well, that'll have to be discussed once this system is in place.
So what you're saying is that you don't have a system ready as of currently.
I just said I did. I just
Oh,
don't have a fleshed out system. I have the bones of a system, and then I want the people to form the majority of it. But and if things start to get off track, I might intervene. But um,
Yeah, so that's the plan you've laid
or
out. Yeah.
yeah, well, I thought I said this at the debate, but I might not have, which is a problem, I'll admit.
Yeah, what got you interested in throwing your hat in? You just didn't want the other two to win?
It wasn't so much that as it was the platforms that they were talking about. I've known Apollo and Boomy since the Dead Realm, and while Boomy rankles my jimmies quite a lot, I don't dislike them.
Well, that's between you
Whereas,
two.
yeah, and whereas the other candidate, Apollo, um, they are an idealist, one who uh, sticks to their ideals, which is admirable, but quite often that can be problematic. Okay, so it wasn't precisely because I didn't want the other two candidates to win. I have no problem with the candidates. What I had a problem with was uh, their concepts. They wanted to establish universal law across the frontiers, which, in my experience, will only lead to war. Better to take the diplomatic route and start off small and work your way up rather than trying to go straight for the jugular. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, in the interest of delaying a conflict, I decided to run.
And this system is flexible, so if a new group forms, they can have their own college?
Exactly. It is meant for the. It's meant to be flexible, and one of my mentors. I say mentor; they were a soldier, but they used to say that governments are like trees. You have the strong, proud ones that can weather many storms, but eventually it'll get too old, crumble, crack, and fall. Then you have the wispy ones, the ones that can also weather pretty much any storm because they're flexible. And most times, while they do start off small, they do grow, and eventually will become that mighty oak, if you will. And it's a matter of whether or not it's a question of tolerances. If you do start off strong and too cocksure, eventually you'll crack under the pressure. But if you start off slow and flexible, you'll last a lot longer.
And that's what you're looking for what we got here,
Yes,
for the people here.
something that'll last and will serve the people.
So, Atris, what is
Yes.
it you want for Life Day? Or Christmas
Day.
on other worlds? Festivus and
I see.
others?
Well, I didn't really grow up with such concepts.
Well, I mean, if it'd be nice if someone gave you a gift, what's something that you'd like to have? We're getting to know
Honestly,
Atris, you know.
I wasn't expecting this sort of question. I spend a lot of my time working.
It's just nice to know what our current president, step down president, is interested in and, enjoys.
Fair enough. I find that I value interpersonal interaction more than I do material things. So perhaps what I'd like for Life Day is, well, a good old fashioned just sit down, maybe play a board game, or shoot the wind. I don't really get a lot of time to do that, considering I'm trying to organize the government, Iron Mesa, and a bunch of civil works projects like the power grid and transportation system.
Noble.
Yes. So what I want for Life Day is just a break.
No, I don't blame you. I think we've kind of covered most of what we needed. Just I think some people might be curious. Were you involved, or would you have liked to have been involved in the recent expiration of the other two candidates?
As I stated earlier, I have no issue with either candidate, and I'm actually saddened that somebody felt the need to do away with the two. And the fact that they haven't come back immediately states that there's something going on in that other realm. Perhaps a crisis of... I hesitate to say a crisis of faith, but perhaps a crisis of life.
Should we mount a rescue party?
I'm not sure that you can mount a rescue party without, committing suicide.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not a happy topic, considering that it's the unwoven realm. But no, I was not involved in any way with those events.
well, we appreciate your honesty and your openness. Any other questions from you, reporter man?
No, absolutely not. I would like to say thank you, though, for bearing
Yes.
with me.
Thank you.
I do have a question for the people.
Absolutely.
Whether or not you believe in this system, we do need to come together and work on it. It is a collaborative and a co-op. So those people who pledge to be the allies of Iron Mesa, I say now's the time to pull together.
All right, and I think one final question that I'm sure a lot out there are curious about. Is there a
Yes.
Mrs. or Mr. Hayport out there? You never know.
Considering I'm an android, I don't really have much. I don't really have genes to pass on, but I like to think that my
I think I broke him.
well, when you spend several eternities just sitting there doing what you're told, you never really think about it.
So you were like a slave at one time?
No, no. I don't know if you know much about my history, but self-reliance doesn't come naturally. I fall back on it when I need to, but I wasn't really raised to create my own orders unless it was absolutely necessary. So after a while, you just completely forget that there is a purpose to, deciding for yourself.
Well,
But I spent my life on missions, defending the interests of an endangered species.
Gotcha.
Not a usual, not your usual upbringing, I suppose, or life. In any case, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, no, we definitely appreciate your time as well. And just know that, kind of off the record, that this is your place too. You know, we want you to pursue your dreams and your interests, and any one of us would be more than happy to help with that.
Thank you very much.
Thank
And
you.
the same
But
goes for you.
I got one question from the people. Are you coming
Oh.
back with the milk?
I'm not sure.
It's got to be the blue milk. That's the good
Yeah.
stuff. The blue milk.
Damn, it's been a while since I've had some blue milk. I think that the last time was on that desert planet.
Yep.
In any case, oh, sorry. Great. That concludes that.
I love that he programmed in humanisms like that sudden cough.
Well, every now and then, stuff gets stuck in the forming air pathways. So I mean, how else would you clear it?
Yeah. Fair. All right. Don't want to keep you guys any longer.
Okay.
Great
Thank
interview.
you for taking the time, Ken.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.